Hello again, you guys. Okay, so I have a thrift with me video. I'm going to try doing this just a little bit differently today, where I actually have the video uploaded without any audio, and I'm going to play it through my screen share and kind of talk over the top of it. So bear with me if it doesn't work out too well. I'm basically trying to find a way to troubleshoot a few issues I had with my microphone. So just bear with me with it. So I'm going to go full screen and I'm going to start playing it, and I'm going to tell you the items that I looked at the thrift store, basically. I'm going to tell you sort of like if I picked them up or why I didn't pick them up, all that kind of good stuff, and just give you some information sort of from my perspective as the thrifter. Of course, if you're new here, this is a channel all about selling online, so thrifting from thrift stores and yard sales and rummage sales and things like that, and then selling those items for a profit on Poshmark, eBay and Etsy. So let's start this, and I'm just going to kind of chit chat, just keep it nice and casual. So here we go. So the first item that I had at this thrift store was a pair of Not Your Daughter's jeans. However, you can see some markings there, very, very faint, but definitely some discoloration. They were a great style. They were a boyfriend with some distressing, but just with that damage, I was gonna have to leave them behind, unfortunately. Now, all the items were full price actually at this particular thrift store because as far as I know, they're not doing the colored tags right now due to reasons, you know, with stuff going on, the great unpleasantness. And that was paper, denim and cloth. I have sold those for a decent profit before, sometimes sold at Anthropology. However, they weren't a very good style. They were kind of like a straight leg. If they were skinny or a high rise, I may have thought twice about those. So I started off in the shoes today, but there really wasn't anything decent there at all. And they're really high priced at this particular store. I did put a pair of Tevas in there, but decided against it just because of wear. Just flicking through again, lots and lots of different pants, kind of staying away from corduroys at the moment, even though fall is coming. Found quite a lot of pairs of Lucky brand as well, but very small, like 00s. Oh, this is a good example of puckering I wanted to just show you guys. This is what you get across the legs and sometimes under the behind there as well. Keep an eye out for that, because that is something that will really devalue your item, even if it is a great brand. So just checking through, I'm kind of looking for any distinguishing features. I'm looking at style as well as brand. Is it a nice wash? Is it a high rise? Is it skinny? Does it have, like distressed or raw hems? Anything that is really just kind of on trend right now. Lots and lots of bread and butter items, but like I said, for full price at this thrift store, I was not going to pick them up. They're about $5.99 to $6.99, I think, jeans at this one. Did find a pair of BDG, and they had a good style to them, a very sort of skinny leg, black, dark wash, no puckering, just, you know, a nice style. But again, that brand just doesn't do super well for me. If it was a couple of bucks, I may have grabbed it, but not for full price. Have to be picky when everything's full price, of course. So I'm not just looking through the jeans, I'm looking through other pants as well. Oh, Joe's jeans. Now, these were a great style in terms of that kind of gray wash and then skinny, but they were really, really small. I think they were size like 24 or something. And that size is just hard to move for me right now. Even though we're coming into fall and jeans are doing better, I really didn't want to take the risk with such a small size, again, for full price. I'm definitely feeling some fabric and stuff as well, trying to see, you know, if I feel something that feels like it's a wool or a blend, I'm stopping and double checking it. I'm looking at prints. I love things like, you know, a plaid or a herringbone or something like that stands out as kind of quality and on trend for me. Stopping here with a pair of herringbone pants. They were only $80, so I didn't grab them this time. But that is the kind of thing that I'm keeping my eyes open for. Still got some nice color going in there, but color is, I stay away from colored denim, I have to say. Now, I liked these. They had a great sort of distressing to them, the Talbot's 5 pocket, and they can do quite well. But unfortunately as well, full price, I decided to stay away. These were nice. They were $8.99 though. They were loft in this really pretty kind of like seafoam teal type blue with that exposed seam detail on that skinny pant. $8.99. There's just not a lot of meat on the bone, really, when it comes to reselling for something that is priced that high. But $1 or $2, absolutely. Just continuing to kind of look through. Again, I kind of stay away from prints unless it's something really special. I did find this. It was actually a skirt, just happened to be in the pants section, but definitely a fall feel to it. And that's a newer J. Crew tag, good size. So I decided to grab it and take a closer look a little bit later on. Tend to stay away from khakis as well. Unless they're a phenomenal brand, I'm not really into khakis, I have to say. If there's something like Cool though, Kuhl, then I would grab them. Here's some newer tags, the Pixie pants from Old Navy, but again, just a little bit too much money, and this particular Goodwill does mark up its newer tags items, no matter what the brand. Got White House Black Market, older tag, wasn't really interested. Athleta, I liked this piece, kind of like a long shifty dress, but the pilling and the washwear, it was just too heavy, unfortunately. I wouldn't have been able to sell it that way, and I don't think I could unpill or depill that entire thing, I have to say. All right, so again, here's some of these lucky brands I told you about, the 00s. There was loads of them in this dark wash skinny, just one after the other here. So I did stop and pay attention because that would be a really nice quick sort of listing since I would have multiples. But again, that 00, that really is a small size to sell quickly. Not so much a quick flip as far as I'm concerned. So I decided to err on the side of caution today and not grab those particular ones. I have to say it's quite nice being back in the thrift store though. Everybody was wearing masks, they're mandated now where I am. Everyone was sort of behaving themselves and there was lots and lots of space to go around. It wasn't particularly busy today at all. Now I found this and it caught my eye and I'll show you why in a second. So Laurent Ralph Lauren, that's kind of their lower end line, $11.99, so marked up, but it was a 2X if you spotted that. It's like a barn jacket, that bright red and then the black collar, and look at this lining, you guys. Oh my goodness, the equestrian print absolutely grabbed me, and the equestrian detail on the buttons that is so like popular in my opinion. It's just one of those keywords and one of those features that I feel like does really, really well at that kind of equestrian pop. So I decided to pop it in, and again, just to have a little bit of think about it, but it definitely appealed to me. So onto some dresses now. Their dresses, I think, are $6.99 as well, if I'm not mistaken. This did catch my eye. It looked like a vintage piece, that red and yellow one, but I couldn't be sure. Oh, Patagonia, so I grabbed this. I'm going to give you a, I did buy it. I bought it, but it was a fail. So there's going to be a whole video put out after this Thrift With Me video. So come and watch and see how I missed a gigantic flaw. Now, there were some markings on it that you can see. I actually ran it through the wash. I ran it through a cold, gentle wash on its own, and then I just hung it to dry. It did absolutely perfectly. It was a lamb's wool blend, but it was fine. But unfortunately, it has the flaw, which you'll see in that video. Talbots, I liked the piece, the kind of nautical stripe and the hooded kind of shift cover-up dress, but I just wasn't too bothered about that particular piece, I have to say. Not for full price again. Just popping on through, seeing what catches my eye, what feels good. I kind of like the back of this where it's a button-up neck, but it ended up the brand just wasn't really anything special, unfortunately. You can often feel when they're like cheaper polyester and things like that as well, and it's easy to tell oftentimes when you're touching what may be quality and what isn't. Zara, I liked this piece. I thought it was a really cute piece, the red, kind of a boxy fit, but again, full price. No. This was a vintage piece, kind of like 90s, he made in the USA as well. It said the back porch on the Gulf, Destin, Florida. I really liked it, like a very boxy sundress, but unfortunately it did have some marks and I didn't feel like tackling those, so back on the rack it went. Plenty of Old Navy and Target and Walmart stuff here, I have to say. Just like every other thrift store, right? You have to kind of go through some of that stuff to find the gems hidden here and there. Very pretty prints. If we were at the beginning of spring or summer, I may be looking more closely at those, but we are edging into the fall season here soon. And so they're not really catching my eye as much right now. Now, if it was a yard sale and they were very cheap, I probably would grab them. So J. Jill, Italian yarn, absolutely love this sweater dress. It's burnt orange with this gorgeous exposed seam, but there were little tiny holes all over, which is so typical of a wool or a cashmere or something like that. You have to look so closely. I wasn't familiar with this particular brand. I felt like it could be vintage, but I liked the big old like embroidered tropical fish print. It just caught my eye because it was fun. Again, not really for full price and did have deodorant marks, so I left that behind as well. Do like those fun kind of vintage-esque pieces though. Those are always give me a kick to sell, I have to say. Simply Vera Wang's, that's not much of anything, sold at Kohl's. Plenty of Target, like I said, we've got some newer tags there. I wasn't familiar with the brand, wasn't anything particularly special. Just going on through. Nope, nothing interesting there. Now this caught my eye. Oh my goodness. Vintage, looked to be handmade, but upon further inspection was actually branded, and an interesting brand as well. Lots of research will have to go into that. Spoiler, I did pick it up, but I will tell you more about it in my haul video. It was gorgeous, I have to say. Such a find. Okay, so then I decided to go ahead and hop over to the blazers. Lafayette 148, very, very expensive. However, I just couldn't tell if this was a flaw. It's hard to show on the camera, but it stood out so much in this linen blend. It really was like a standout thing, so I decided to leave it just because I couldn't be sure. And Taylor looked like a newer tag, gorgeous waterfall denim style blazer, but again, $8.99, just a little bit too much, even though it was such a nice classic piece. Another Ann Taylor newer tag as well. Again, had a really nice kind of waffly knit to it. Really cute, $6.99. I love the sort of raw edge and things like that, but it's just a little too high for me for Ann Taylor, unfortunately. That is definitely a bread and butter brand for me. Sometimes certain pieces stand out and I'll grab them, but I just wasn't sure on those, so I did leave them behind today. Oh, I got poofed. Have anybody else ever had that? It looks so much like Free People in every possible way, including the metal tag, until you look closer. Everyone gets poofed once in a while. Just going through some of the sweaters as well. Again, fall is coming, so we're thinking ahead to the next season here. Always thinking about like what's going to be coming up next, so I can get listing ahead of time so people can come shop in my store as the season changes and everything's already listed and waiting for them to take a peek. I think their sweaters as well are like $5.99. I can't quite remember. But it definitely has to be something kind of special to grab. They have some jackets sort of tucked in here as well, although I don't know exactly how they would have charged me for those. Things are a little bit hodgepodge in here, as you can tell. So this is still in the sweater section and stuff, as you can see, all masked up. And you can tell from behind me, it really wasn't busy at all. Like there's like nobody. So it was a pretty good experience. I was pretty comfortable. Things are kind of interesting in my area right now. Like I said, masks are mandated and things are kind of picking up, if you like. We have some spikes going on, unfortunately, so I haven't been thrifting in a couple of weeks. This was my first outing in about 2 weeks, but because the mandate's going on and I could tell in the car park and stuff that there basically wasn't much going on in terms of foot traffic in there, I decided to brave it and give it a little bit of a go so I could report back and just see if I could find anything fun as well for a haul video, because you know, we do like to thrift, don't we? If we can do it safely and we can do it responsibly, I don't see why not, as long as it's okay in your area. But you know, you just have to be wise about it at the end of the day. So I really didn't come into contact with anyone and everyone was very respectful. So super, super grateful for that. So again, just kind of going on through all of the sweaters and kind of taking a look. You can kind of see that cool gold and cream metallic thing there in the corner of the screen. That was a Vanessa Virginia. It was like a sweater dress or like a long tunic style mock turtleneck sweater. So cute for the holiday season. Spoiler, I did grab that as well. Again, if you're interested in the whole video, make sure you subscribe and hit the bell so you can see when that video comes up next. Oh, this was me escaping to go look at an Afghan. It was like a neon pink and white sort of baby blanket Afghan, but I couldn't determine, if I'm honest, if it was vintage or not. If it's not vintage, I'm not super interested in it. It was about $4.99, so I kind of ran across the store to go take a quick peek and decided to leave it behind just because I couldn't really be sure. I didn't want to market it incorrectly, so a bit of a false alarm there, I have to say. And that is pretty much it. So, like I said, if you're interested in the whole video so you can see all of the things I actually did pick up from this particular haul, then go ahead and subscribe, and that's going to be the next video coming your way, I should think. If you enjoyed this video, please do give it a thumbs up. Let me know down below how thrifting is going for you. What is your experience like right now? Have you enjoyed it? Have you found anything good? I would absolutely love to know, and I will catch you in the next video. Bye, you guys.